The views and opinions on this podcast do not necessarily reflect those of the executive producer or the sponsors. They are those of the hosts and guests only. We believe freedom of conscience means the right to speak free, to think and believe as you will without the imposition of official coercive power over those beliefs. Liberty cannot exist when people are forced to conform their thoughts and expression to an official viewpoint. Differences of opinion are the natural byproducts of a vibrant, free society. Thank you. Live from Studio Diablo in Chicago, Illinois, this is MKULTRASOUND.
Get with the countdown.
I speak jive.
Forget it, man. Blast off for Kicksville. Shake this square world. Blast off for Kicksville.
I speak jive.
Forget it, man. Get with the countdown.
I speak jive.
Forget it, man. Blast off for Kicksville. Shake this square world.
Yeah, I got a girl, walks just like a duck. Yeah, I got a girl, she just loves to... Hey, you thought I was gonna say a bad word, didn't you? But I didn't, did I? I didn't say the F word. You know, I don't understand why you can't say the F word on TV. I can say fornicate, I can say intercourse, I can say sex, making love. Dr. Ruth can say all them words she says. I don't even want to say, ooh, them technical words and whatnot. Yeah, I got a girl, oh, she ain't no wussy. Yeah, I got a girl, she's covered in a... I don't understand.
Ha! Yeah, the late great Mojo Nixon, a staple of my diet since I was on college radio in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, back in the late 80s, all the way up until his death last Wednesday on February the 7th. He had died from so he was found dead on board the annual Outlaw Country Cruise, where he was a regular presence as a performer and co-host. He had performed just the night before. His family had said Mojo Nixon was full tilt, wide open, rock hard, root hog, corner of two wheels on fire, passing after a blazing show, a raging night, closing the bar, taking no prisoners, a good breakfast, a great breakfast, I'm sure it was, with bandmates and friends. A cardiac event on the Outlaw Country Cruise is just about right, and that's how he did it. Mojo has left the building, and since Elvis is everywhere, we know he was waiting for him in the alley out back. Heaven help us all. I got to say, man, he went out doing what he loved, and I hope I go out the same way. I had, it was a little hard. It's been rough. I'm losing friends day after day, month after month at least. Jesse Jane, I lost a month ago. Huge part of my life and my career, especially MK Ultra. And my friend Ellen the Felon, who was on the show a couple of weeks ago, said take your time to address your feelings on it, which I have, and I'm going to take care of that this week. I owe the readers that at least, but I do want to say that I did post on Wednesday. I have never in my life laughed so hard after the death of someone I knew as I am over Mojo Nixon. Everything is hysterical. Every memory is over the top like he was. He went out doing exactly what he loved. I hope to do the same. He and Nick Huffman are somewhere making fun of me, I hope. I miss them, but every memory with them, as spectacular as they are, is just fucking fun. My closest friends know exactly what I mean. Those of you in Indianapolis from the December of 1995 who was there with me and Mojo and my entire staff, and I mean the entire Indianapolis staff of MK Ultra, had something to do with that. I'm not going to mention names. I'll go into that a little bit later. And it goes right into my brother, and my brother sent a text message to me. He said, you'd get kicked off Facebook again, but it'd be great for you to share the creepy pic you have him with his dick hanging out. Looked like Deliverance, Texas Chainsaw Massacre crossover. And I had commented, I was talking about that last night. The photo was so fucking strange. Pure Mojo. I was putting that up, and that up close to it, he's got another picture where the dick is right in the camera lens. And it's just creepy. And it will go in the book that Max and I are putting together for you, the listener, the fan of MK Ultra now. And then another memory, my brother had posted the Horny Holidays tour. You and I walked backstage, and he's just sitting there by himself, all wasted, signed my poster to Aaron with an A, gave me a Mojo gas station attendant shirt with the name Otis on the tag. And, I think he addressed my brother as, how do I spell your name, son? I mean, he was just Mojo Nixon all the time. My radio broadcasting class mate from the summer of 1982, Dave Parsons, who's actually on, doing a great career. He's one of my writers now as our country music affiliate out of the Ohio Valley. I took him to see Mojo Nixon and Dred Zeppelin. I mean, this guy was part of my life since the late 80s, and again, with college radio being the beginning of that. I'll get into it more of it later. I want to get into some music, though, and he made some fucking great music. When I first saw him with Skid Roper, and that was the band Mojo Nixon and Skid Roper, it was Mojo on his guitar and Skid Roper with a washboard, a stand-up washboard with drumsticks on it, and that was the rhythm. And this is from the album Root Hog and Die. The first time I saw Mojo Nixon with Skid Roper at the Newport Music Hall in Columbus, Ohio, this show is from that record. This song is Vibrator Dependent on the MKULTRASOUND podcast.
Came home early one night from work, thought my wife's in bed with a jerk. She's in there with a big piece of plastic, yelling and a screaming, super deluxe creaming. She don't want my lipstick, 'cause she's vibrator dependent. Don't want me in it, says I don't make the right noise. Been replaced by batteries. Hey there fellas, can't you see? She just wants to play with her toys. She don't want to go out and dance. She don't want to get in my pants. Just stay home and vibrate. I'm getting big blisters on my hands, thinking maybe I ain't a man. Man, she ain't gonna get impregnate, 'cause she's vibrator dependent. Don't want me in it, says I don't make the right noise. Being replaced by batteries. Hey there fellas, can't you see? She just wants to play with her toys. Play with them, honey. So boom! There she was, in the bedroom. Sound like she's shaving her tallywhacker with a battery-powered device. Me, I'm prancing around out in the living room. Got the demon jism build. I mean, I got a severe case of it. A lot of pressure on my brain. Eyeballs turning white. Grabbing my tallywhacker all the time. I look her in the eye and I say, baby, 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 please. Yeah, baby, you got something I need, something I want. I want to put my face in a special place. She said, what? I want to put my face in a special place. Yeah, I want to get a ring around the face, honey. You know what I'm talking about, when the full moon comes around. She said, Moji Woji, you got to do something for me if you want to do that. I said, what's that, honey? She said, Moji, you know what you got to do? You know I got these battery-powered things here. And you know I got some things that plug into the wall, put 110 volts on my tallywhacker. Mojo, I want you to go out to the store. I want you to get me something big and ugly. Gigantic vibrator. Vibrator-zilla it be. Unplug the refrigerator, Mojo. Get Vibrator-zilla, bring it in here, and put $220 on the money, honey. I said, baby, you done got crazy. And then, Mojo, you can put your face in a special place. But you're gonna have to make a little noise. Took her down, see a nurse, cure her of this terrible curse. Doctor said, lady, you're afflicted. Ma'am, you got a terrible habit. Now I told you not to grab it. I pronounce you addictive. She's vibrator dependent. Don't want me in it. Says I don't make the right noise. Being replaced by batteries. Hey there, fellas, can't you see? She just wants to play with her toys. Yeah, she's vibrator 45 batteries. Hey there, fellas, can't you see? She just wants to play with her toys. She just wants to play with her toys. She's got VD. That's vibrator dependency now, isn't it? No, honey, you can't plug my toes into the wall. I ain't gonna hum no more either.
Hey y'all, Mojo Nixon here from Sirius XM. Outlaw Country. Before I was Mojo Nixon, I started out as Kirby McMillan from Danville, Virginia. And really, Mojo Nixon is just who I wanted to be. My dad owned a soul radio station in the town I grew up in, and I was music crazy. I love music that is exciting and dangerous and makes the church people nervous. When I started being Mojo Nixon, my goal was to go too far, too fast. Here, 30 years later, guess what? I'm fucking Mojo Nixon. People hear me on the radio and they assume that I like live in a van down by the river and I got overalls on, and they meet me and they go, well, you look too nice. I am immersed in hillbilly rock and roll. Outlaw Country is where country and rock and roll comes together with a very bad attitude. We go, that Mojo's too much. Mojo doesn't need to swear. I go, it's outlaw country. It's not nice country. It's not church country. It's not Barbara Mandrell country. It's outlaw country. It's David Allan Coe and Hank Jr., and George Jones, and Johnny Cash, and Waylon and Willie. You don't like it? Fuck you. I'm getting paid to play the music commercial free every day. And I get to put a little entertaining bullshit in between. 12 years at Sirius and I hadn't been fired.
Ha! Yeah.
As a musician, I'm not a great singer, I'm not a great songwriter, but I am a good bullshit artist. What I am is just completely and utterly full of it. It's in me and it's gotta come out. We should be happy that we live in the greatest country in the world and we have more freedom than anybody. We shouldn't be walking around afraid. You know what we should be doing? We should be opening new go-kart tracks out on the edge of town. In fact, one that has a loop-de-loop in it. And in the middle of the loop-de-loop will be a barbecue stand. Look, I just want to be a tiny piece of the great American crazy myth. Not the story that they tell in school, not the story that they tell, in the movies, but the wild, crazy, free nut job on the outside of town story. That's what I'm drawn to.
Elvis is everywhere. Elvis is everything. Elvis is everybody. Elvis is still the king. Man, oh man, what I want you to see is that the big ease inside of you and me.
Oh, yeah. Well, I pulled that off. I just looked up Mojo Nixon rants because he had them. And I interviewed him a few times. And once I had a girlfriend with me. And she was all into that 80s metal and stuff. And I was part of that rock and roll scene, but going more into the darkness with the Sisters of Mercy, the Jesus and Mary chain, and Love and Rock. It's that beautiful, beautiful alternative music that I discovered when I was just sick of these hair bands from Los Angeles with, the blonde singer all posing and everybody doing a ballad. I mean, I liked it at first. I really did. What saved me from that was keeping me true to it was definitely Guns N' Roses. That's for fucking sure. But Mojo Nixon, he was a staple of MKUltra. I had interviewed him. I put him in a magazine, and, we were known for darker content, darker bands. Some said goth, whatever. I just put in, I was a voice for people who didn't have a voice. And so I was doing the right thing when I formed and started MKUltra. I'm like, I got it. You know what? I found out really, really fast that a lot of people felt the same way as I did. And the musical tastes were being neglected and ignored, although they were really, really great bands. And so I remember I got a letter once from a guy, and I had Cheap Trick in the magazine and Garbage, and he's like, you see it, the magazine, and it's got this dark content, but then you have these bands, and congratulations, and he gave me these great compliments, which I appreciated. But at the same time, I wasn't about one type of music. I was about the bands that I liked, and I know a lot of people like those same kind of bands. Mojo Nixon was that kind of guy, and once in Pittsburgh. Now, this was after the time my brother and I had seen him, and after the time Dave Parsons and I had seen him. And, I dragged Mojo down High Street, north on High Street, after a show at the Newport, and got him on stage with a local band at this little punk rock club called Stashes. And Stashes broke a lot of bands back in the day, and one of them was Soundgarden, and I saw them with Ed Kowalski, Fizz Ed, the Extra Slice guy, the Biggie. Ed Kowalski, and I went and saw Soundgarden, and then we ran into Joe Crummer. That's a whole different story. I'm going off on a tangent here, but Mojo would too, and just bear with me. This one time in Pittsburgh, I'm with Mark DeLugas, and that night, Mojo nicknamed Mark Bubba. And Mark was a mechanic, and he had a gas station shirt on, and he was a big boy, big old Pittsburgh boy, and Mojo was like, just looked at him and called him Bubba. You're Bubba. And we were there with Jody and my crazy girlfriend Pam that night, which is just scary. A woman who colored her hair red was the first of the three nuts that I'd gone out with of women who dyed their hair red that weren't real redheads and were just fucking insane. And I paid the price for it. But this night, he had this contest. It was a graffiti in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and right outside the University of Pittsburgh campus. And we'd gone, and he had this contest. You get a sexy dance contest. You get up and dance to whatever they were playing. It was Mojo Nixon and his band, the Toad Lickers. So he'd gone from the washboard guy to a full band, and they were the Toad Lickers. And he formed this band in Texas somewhere. And I get on stage, and it's down to me and this really beautiful hot girl. And there's pictures out there. And, I got to dig through. I got to find the dick shots, too. But I have lots of Mojo memories and lots of photos, and I like to do that. I document things. So I'm like, how am I going to win this contest? I had a few beers. I only drank beer back then. And I'm like, well, the only way I'm going to win this contest is expose myself. So I dropped my pants. I slapped my butt. Girl runs off the stage, and my prize was this velour shirt. So that's what everybody got who won this contest, was a velour shirt. Fast forward a couple years later, we're sitting in Broad Ripple and on a cold December night at he was playing the patio that evening, and we walked around the corner of this burrito shop, and I did an interview with him. We ate these big ass burritos. And that's what they were called. Burritos bigger than your head. Like Chris Polas, the black guy's hand was always like, burritos bigger than my dick. Because he always had to talk about his dick. But I'm sitting there with Mojo, and I'm like, you know what this is? And I pull out that shirt. He goes, you're the velour. He said, you pulled your pants down. And I'm like, yeah. And even funnier about that was a couple of months later, I'm at McDonald's on Forbes Avenue, excuse me, on the University of Pittsburgh campus. And this guy is taking my order. He's like, didn't you pull your pants down on stage at graffiti? I'm fucking laugh. Anywho, yes, I did. That was me. And that's the way that Mojo Nixon inspired me. So I'm going to play one of the songs that I really, really, really loved from his career way back in the college radio days. And this is one song that, he was always good about taking requests. And I always screamed this song title out, and every single time he played it for me. And this is Mojo Nixon. This is the tribute. Is Alexander on a Super Bowl Sunday, 39 degrees in Buena Park, Chicago, Illinois. Enjoy. Wow! Yeah! Oh! Burn down the malls. Burn down the malls. Burn down the shopping malls. I said burn down the malls. I said burn down the shopping malls. Burn down the shopping malls. Yeah! The feeling that America's turning into some kind of sitcom, lowest common denominator, shopping mall, marketing strategy from hell. Oh, you ever get that feeling? Well, I got that feeling right now. It's kind of getting under my skin. Yeah, so get some gasoline and go burn down the mall. Say it! Burn down the mall. Loud ass! Burn down the mall. Burn down the shopping mall. Yeah. It started out just kind of as a corner store, and it turned into a shopping center. Oh, I remember the shopping center openings, man. They used to have those big lights shining up. And now, where do the old folks go? Where do the young kids go? What's America turning into? Mondo, condo, shopping mall. Hell, I said, burn down the malls. Burn down the malls. Burn down the malls.
is kind of getting on my nerves. Another thing that's getting on my nerves is this national 21 drinking age. Oh, what do you think about that? A bunch of malarkey! Whatever malarkey is, man. It's a whole bunch of it. You know, if Reagan finally gets the war he's looking for, you think he's going to be drafting 21-year-olds? No, man, they're going to be drafting 18 and 19-year-olds. But you can't buy beer. Can't buy beer. You can get married and screw yourself up real good. But you can't buy beer. You can charge $8 million on the master charge. You can't buy a beer. You can vote for one fool or another. But you can't buy beer, because this is America. America that's run by the lowest common denominator. The money. How many units did you move, Mojo? How many things of apple juice did they sell, huh? Come on, suckers. Come on, feel it. Feel it. Yeah. I said burn down the mall. Yeah, burn down the shopping mall. Burn down the mall. Burn down, knock them down. I said burn down the shopping mall. Burn down the shopping mall. Burn down the shopping mall. Burn down, 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 down. Hey, America's done gone berserk. Some people's acting like a jerk. The whole land done gone crazy. It's time to hear something from me. That's right, it's time to hear something from me. I'm Mojo Nixon. Let me tell you, man, America was founded by people, the outcasts of Europe. America was founded by a revolutionary. It's founded by slaves, founded by people that were kicked out of other countries. Revolutionary, religious nuts, weirdos, mutants, geeks, revolutionary. All kind of people come over here, and America was the free land. America was the young, the brave, the free. It was the bodacious, it was. We need some new revolutionaries. We don't need to be fat and ugly. We need to be a mean, lean, sex machine country. Oh yeah, oh yeah. And the freight train of love, the freight train of freedom is taking off. Let's get it going, boys. Train I ride, 16 coaches long.
Yeah, microphone live might help. Well, I'm really getting into this, and I hope you are too. If you're listening, we did a show yesterday with my friend Eric Mills. He's a transplant from Los Angeles here. A lot of connections in the music business. A lot of the same friends as me, and we were lucky enough to have met. And now I know his wife, his bar, his business partner. He's just a great all-around dude. If you get a chance, that show was yesterday. Play that. It's just fucking nuts. I mean, he's sitting here, and I didn't tell, and Mad Max is sitting in. I didn't tell either one of them what to expect other than we're going to play these songs that Eric picked, these LA bands that he knows and has worked with. So, of course, there was Guns N' Roses there. But the guy is a super dude, and he had actually sent me a message when, I'm going through this whole Lost thing, and he said, let me find this for y'all. Basically, it's like, he said, yeah, man, that blows. We're at the age when people that we've had in our lives, one way or another, start fucking dying. It really sucks. And that was Saturday at 1. And he's like, see you Saturday at 1 o'clock, man. Just a good friend and people who get it. And, the people who had been in that circle with Mojo Nixon and MK Ultra and just what he did in general, when they're like, hey, Alex, because they think of me because I would just love this guy. And this one conversation I had with him in Columbus, Ohio, at the Newport Music Hall with my girlfriend at the time, Jill. And again, I think that she was just completely thrown off because he was like, just how he was. And he told me he just had his first son. Now, this is just the man he was. His first son was named Rafe Cannonball McMillan. He's a McMillan. And his first son was Rafe Cannonball. I'm like, only you would fucking do that. Name your kid middle name Cannonball. I mean, that's just how awesome he was. And then, he told me, just in conversation, not on interview, but, he'd gone to college at Miami University in Ohio, which is in the middle of nowhere, like out around Dayton. But ironically, two of the women that I worked with at the current company I'm with, one's no longer there, but my friends had gone to that college, and these women are just beautiful. I think they're the most beautiful women I've ever seen inside and out. And no, I'm not going to say their names, and you can't see their pictures. So you fucking pervs out there know. Anyway, they both went to the same college the same year and never knew each other. But yeah, here we are in Chicago, and we worked in the same little office in Evanston. And I said, as soon as I met them, where'd you go to college? And I'm like, Mojo Nixon went there. And then when Detroit Jason was here last summer after Exotic and before he went home, and I love that last day I have with Detroit Jason because it's just a wind down after 4 days of madness. And we always go to the Mexican restaurant around the corner, El Parmar, which I wish I could have taken Mojo to because I've taken every musician there. As Chris Mackey called it, a rite of passage. And we had a few hours to kill, a few beers, and he was going to fly out. And I showed him the Mojo Nixon documentary, which is just amazing. You get a chance, watch it. I'm actually going to buy it now. I paid to watch it twice. I could own it at this point, but I've got to make that part of my collection. I will be getting that. If you are interested, it's the Mojo Manifesto or something crazy like that. It's just a 90-minute amazing documentary on the guy and a man who I just absolutely loved. He was Charles Bukowski, Elvis, not even Elvis, like Jerry Lee Lewis, like the fucking crazy guys. Charles Bukowski and Hunter Thompson all wound up into one. And these are a few of my favorite things. So, and like I said, his buddy Country Dick Montana went out. Country Dick Montana played for the Beat Farmers. He was a drummer. Also did some songs on Mojo. And I think I'm going to squeeze in one of his songs called Happy Boy on this podcast today. Now I'm talking in circles, aren't I? See, I had no format for this. I just want to share how I feel. So give me a moment. Let me get through this. And I want to get on to the next song. And we'll get into the next song. Where am I? Okay. God damn, I'm glad I don't have a guest on the show today. Right, America's Number 6. Okay, here's another song I had learned from college radio that I played when I DJ'd out, and a lot of fun we had with this. And here's another song that reminded me of some of those songs like the Charlie Daniels Uneasy Rider and, a few songs like that. And we're just going to rip into it. It's called Where the Hell's My Money on the MKULTRASOUND podcast, Mojo Nixon tribute. Oh, shit.
We three kings of Orient are drinking whiskey in a nude bar, getting drunker than a skunk, following yonder star. We were drunk for 3 days straight, feeling like we were Tom Waits. Following yonder star. Star of wonder, star of light, sun is shining so fucking bright. Westward leading, still proceeding. Wow! Take me to that perfect light. Take me to that perfect light. Oonga. We three kings of Orient are throwing up in our dad's car. We don't care, we were not there. Following yonder star. Star of wonder, star of bright, star is coming around here tonight. Westward leading, still proceeding. Flies to your perfect light.
Well, I messed that up, didn't I? But that's from the Christmas album, which is another staple of this podcast. Since we've gone on and we do Christmas shows every year, I always play something from Horny Holidays, and that was We Three Kings. And I just want to bring up that that was recorded on Triple X Records, 1992, at 3 Alarm Studios in Memphis, Tennessee, December 1991, top to bottom in 4 days, and 27 bottles of peppermint schnapps on the floor. Now, I can just imagine that place. Smelled like a big fucking Christmas tree. But I'm going to play the song that I meant to play right here on the MKULTRASOUND podcast, Mojo Nixon Tribute.
Yeah, me and Skid Row will pull into town. Yeah, we pull into town, we gonna be laying them down. Yeah, man, we go to the local record store and they got our record kind of sitting out right real prominently on the shelf there. We go, great googly moogly. Yeah, man, we go over to the college radio station. They say, baby, they've been waiting for us all day long. All day long. All day long. So we do a little interview and then we go down to the rock and roll club, man, and we do a sound check. You know, we be checking out all kind of sounds we be doing. We going hoo ha hee ha hoorah hoorah. Yeah. Yeah, man, and then the local band gets up on the stage and they begin to rage. They begin to rock and roll. They got the super soul going up through the beats. They started grabbing the tallywhackers and they say, baby, baby, what's on your mind? Well, they didn't really do it like this, but like, baby, baby, what's on your mind? Man, and the place was packed. I mean, wall to wall. I mean, it was like the wall to wall, ceiling to ceiling. You couldn't get another person in there with a crowbar. I mean, the club owner was out there with the crowbar, sticking more people in. Yeah, that's right, you know, and they couldn't get a razor blade between these people. They was all there waiting to see Mojo Nixon and Skid Row do the rock and roll thing. And we said, baby, we have come to do the rock and roll thing. And then we started rocking. Yeah, we started popping. We started doing the fornication nation. Wow, Mojo is ski. Yeah. So man, after we be rocking for about an hour, 2 hours, encores out the door, crowbar, man, there's a psychotic reaction and everything. Well, me and Skid Row was about 2:30 Sunday morning. We said, we gotta get paid. We gotta get paid. Now, who's in charge of this place, you know? So we're looking around. We ask the doorman, the bartender. We ask them all, and they say, you have to talk to the owner. So we go find the owner, and he says, Mojo, I got your money, Mojo. I got your money. I had to pay the doorman and the sound man, and I had to pay the light man, and you had 3 guests, Mojo, 3 people on the guest list. So I figure that your money from the gig comes to $7.48. $7.48. You mean like 7 George Washington dollars and 2 cents less than 50 cents? He said, yes, Mojo, that's what I mean. I said, Right at this moment, I pull out a 1936 Colt 45 single action service revolver that my daddy used at the big war. And I placed a cold steel barrel up against his slug's head, and I yelled, where the hell's my money? Where the hell's my money? Yeah, right at this moment, Skid Row takes out his old-time Mesa washboard on a stick and winds up like Ivan the Jesus and smacks a corrugated tin right across his puss bag's face, leaving debts never to leave. And we both scream, where the hell's my money? Where the hell's my money? Oh. Yeah, I cocked the trigger on the revolver, and Mr. Club owner says, okay, Mojo. Last week we had the floating doo-doo balls in here, and they didn't draw too many people, and I don't have too much money. I said, wait a minute. If I want this shit out of you, I'll squeeze your head, boy. Yeah. So he gets his big mother load of bills. I'm talking about a big dog choking mother load of bills. He starts peeling off 5s, 10s, 20s, 30s. I said, whoa, wait a minute, 30s? Where you get this $30 bill, man? There ain't no $30 bills with Bill Graham's picture on it. What do you think I am, some kind of dummy? What kind of fool are you, boy? So we get our percent of the money, 50% of the door, 5,000 people. We got about $7,000, not $7, you know. We started ranting and raving. We head out of town in the 67 Ford Fairlane station wagon. And we got to take off like Kyle Petty, like Richard Petty. I'm talking about like Wendell Scott, like Pee Wee Roberts, yeah. And these two nubile, obviously underage young women are hanging on to the roof rack. And these two little Madonna wannabes are going, ooh, and the club owner's wiping the poop out of his pants. And his ugly wife, I'm talking about butt ugly, super butt ugly, super zilla, that's what I'm talking about. With the double-aught shells out of the 410 shotgun is fired at our butts as we go off into the sunrise. And the wannabe Madonnas, we figure out these wannabe Madonnas. We figure out they must be undercover cops. So we take them to their daddy's house and they get a little spanking. Yeah, spanking, baby. All ranking. Yeah, so me and Skid, man, we're pulling out of town. We're pulling out of town out on the interstate. And we're sitting in the war wagon. And on the side of the road, we see everybody that ever been done wrong. Everybody that ever been cheated. Everybody that ever been swindled. Everybody ever been taken in by some sleazy scumbag club owner. And they're all standing out there. And they're standing out there waving their hands in the air. And everybody's saying, where the hell's my money? Where the hell's my money? Where the hell's my money? Yeah. Where the hell's my money? Everybody. Where the hell's my money? Where the hell's my money? God damn it, where's my money, man? You think I'm gonna take $7? You know, I wouldn't piss in your mouth if your stomach was on fire. Where the hell's my money?
And that's why when I was a tour manager, I took a cue from that guy that played the tour manager in Spinal Tap. Carried a ball bat with me. My bands got paid, and I got to thank a lot of that to Justin Devlin out of Pittsburgh, who made sure I never got ripped off in the day. And Mojo Nixon and the Toad Lickers had just about the greatest tour rider that there is. And I got to thank my good friend Detroit Jason for sending this to me. And I'm going to read some of it to you, and then I'm going to go to some details about some of the pervy shit that I could share that well, now he's gone. His family is still there, and hopefully they won't hear this show, but I'm definitely going to share it with the world, and it's going to be in the book anyway, so you're going to know about this. But anywho, Detroit Jason is just about the most well-read rock and roll historian that I know, other than yours truly. And another reason I get along with this guy so well, and I truly love him as a brother, and now he's in the MK Ultra family, where I should have put him a few years ago. I'm going to Detroit for my first time for his 50th birthday. And he's already got people, they don't know what to expect. So I think I'm going to do the opposite and not be the myth. I think I'm just going to be this cool, nice guy, Alex, as long as we just, oh my God, I don't know. I got to do this, man. I love the guy, and I'm going to do it. So Jason said this to me last week. Number one, so there's like 11 things on this writer, I think 12. Okay, so the number one, and I mean, this is just truly amazing. If you look up a band's writer, they're ridiculous. So the number one is Elvis was always polite, have a good time, don't beat up rowdy fans unless absolutely necessary. Number two, pay in cash after the Mojo experience. Pay Earl B. Freedom, the bass player, or pay him the right amount or more. Number three, pick the appropriate support act. Please. Bonfire Rockets, Brave Combo, Hairy Guys Addresses, Comparable Rock and Roll Nuts. That would have been me. No fucking flute players, so I couldn't take Rich Experience. Number four, working PA with competent sound person. Working PA by 6 p.m. Load in. The band is